So tonight's call is long overdue. I wanted to do this already close to my 2-year anniversary on the patches, but life happened. And looking back now, there was a few more things that need to happen and a few more things that I had to learn or come across to share with you. So as always, the time is right when the time is right. Tonight is the night where we can tell the story. So what is my story? What has been my journey? Tonight we're going to cover my personal testimony, my journey on the patches, and then my story with network marketing, a little bit of background, what I did previously, and how this has literally changed my life, our life, Chris and my life. Right. So, as you all know, we started patching just over 2 years ago. At the time, I was in my busy season in my business, and a lot was going on. So it was around November, December 2022 where Chris started patching me. At the time, I had quite a lot of health challenges. My digestion was struggling, and I had issues around that. I had tinnitus, that's the ringing in the ear, and it was actually escalating over time. And I had some menopause challenges. Pretty much had close on 15 hot flushes a day. So not a nice experience to go through, and not a quality of life that I thought I would have at that age. Right, touching on 50, I could see that everything in my body was turning to a downhill slope, so to say. So anyway, we started patching. As you know, Chris had his results within 5 days. His mother, Pam, had a result in 3.5 weeks. We kept patching people. A lot of people around me, around us, had their testimonies and their results. But my journey was different, and it was definitely not easy to see all the results around you, and you sort of wonder, what is wrong with me? When am I going to see my results or my testimony? At that time, I already looked at the compensation plan, and I'll touch on that later, and decided that this is something that I want to do. I saw the magic of what this compensation plan could offer us. But I was brave and strong, and Chris was there to patch me on the days where I felt despondent. And then 7.5 weeks in, I had my first results. So this is also just to share a bit perspective, and just to let everybody know that everybody's body is unique and different. Your results will come when it's ready. So, and then it was also just small improvements. So first I could see my energy levels improve. I didn't have that afternoon slump where I often felt very depleted and couldn't really function properly. My sleep definitely improved, my sort of just overall well-being, so like that exhaustion lifted, and I definitely had more energy, right? Um, when we were patching in that sort of first 3 months, I was basically just on X39. It was only after that that we sort of introduced other patches into our patching routine. I started with the SP6 specifically for my menopause and hot flushes. That took another few weeks, and then I could see my hot flushes. I didn't have as many every day, and they definitely subsided quite a bit. I also started patching with the Aeon patch that we know is good for inflammation and stress and anxiety in the body, and that helped with my tinnitus. So the ringing of the high pitch came down, and the frequency of ringing, also giving me a better quality of life and an improvement on so many levels that changed things for me. So you often hear me say, where I compare it to the medical industry and the health industry never being able to really offer me a solution for my challenges. When I look at the patches and being on patches and finding the results that I got, it's definitely the best investment I ever made in my health. Going forward, I will never go without the patches because I know what it offers my body, and I see it as the best insurance I'm taking out, reversing my age, looking after my body almost as something that is preventative, right? what the product has done for me is just remarkable and unmatched to anything else that's out there. So then what happened next, it was sort of in November of 2023. I cut my finger while cutting vegetables and making dinner for us. It was quite a bad cut, quite deep, through the layers of the skin. And over the years, I know how my body has taken a long time to heal and recover a wound that especially is on my hands. As ladies, we work with our hands all day. You're in water, and it takes time. Anyway, it was about 3 days in where I had to look on my hands to find and see which finger actually had the cut. The healing happened from the inside out to such a degree where I couldn't feel the pain anymore. That was another remarkable testimony for me in my own body, knowing where I'm at in life and what this has done. So if there's a war zone, my stem cells will rush to the scene and fix and repair like there's no tomorrow. For me, in my world, that means a lot. In the age that I'm at, it really means that my body has the resistance and can fight back on any level. Then something happened, I would say sort of in the January, February, March of 2024. So this was basically just over a year in on patches. And now in hindsight, I have a lot of insight and wisdom of what happened. But at the time, it was another struggle. I kept on getting headaches. I could feel like my mood was fluctuating, felt like my hormones were all over the place. My body was achy and sore. I was tired, even though I did everything right. I drank a lot of water. I made sure that there wasn't enough or too much stress in my life, and just really looked after myself as best I can through our very busy schedule. And a lot of emotions came up, even things that I dealt with, things from childhood, previous relationships, and things that felt that it wasn't even part of me, right? So some people might refer to it as past lives or things that came from generations, and we know that we carry that through. And it was really a challenging time, and I wasn't sure if the patches were still working for me or really what was going on. Now, in hindsight, and knowing what we know, it makes a lot of sense. The body goes through different stages of detox. There's forever another layer of the onion that we need to peel away. There's forever something else that we need to lift and move. And here's what I want to share tonight. Our bodies are smart. They are super intelligent. And I think we need to sometimes give them a bit more credit. You will only be put out, what will be put in front of you is what you would be able to deal with at the time. So I looked at this and I was like, but that's stuff that I dealt with. It's not even baggage in my life. Why is there still a reminiscence of something coming through? It's because now you're ready to lift and shift and grow from that and move on. So, like I said, at the time, it was turmoil and I wasn't sure what was going on. But now in hindsight, I know what is happening. So also bear in mind that your detox can involve stress, trauma, emotional experiences that you've had in your life. It can come from way back when or just from tomorrow. And I think what is really important is that we embrace that and just work through it. It's not always easy. It's not always pleasant. It can be a very challenging time. But what I can say is if you just stick through it and just go through that, what you receive on the other end is so beautiful. You're going to be feeling lighter, have more energy, have more wisdom, have more insight. But you have to go through that dark, difficult time to get to the beautiful part. So that was also for me another way of how these patches help us in more than the ways that they write down on paper, right? Words can't always explain these things. The patches are here to help and support and guide us. Then around August of 2024, I have always had very healthy hair. And I have been going grey. And for those that don't know, a lot of you on here, as a young girl and even in my 20s, I had long blonde hair. So I know for a lot of people, it's like, what? You were blonde? But yes, so I've only gone dark in my mid 30s, and grey hair started sitting in. So I would go to the salon basically every 3 weeks, sometimes 2.5 weeks, because my hair would grow fast and the regrowth would show. Anyway, good healthy hair, never a problem, but the grey hair was a tricky thing to manage. Anyway, in August, my hairdresser started telling me, what are you doing? Your grey hair is diminishing, and your hair is definitely thicker and it's definitely growing even faster. So that was a great way as well, where I saw the reverse aging happening. And then ongoing, I look back at the business that I ran and how it took a lot of time and energy out of me, and how I realized that I can't do it anymore. Where now I look at our work day and what we can accomplish in a day and the energy levels that we perform on. And this is everything that we get from the patches, right? So we sometimes forget, what it offers us. You've often heard me say of recent, I feel pretty much 10 years younger from the inside out, from how my organs function, from how my body copes with stress, from how I sleep, my digestion, all those little things that we know, it tends to go downhill after a certain age. So at the moment, I'm starting a patching protocol that is referred to as the Magic 5. That is where you use the Aeon, the X39, and the YH trio. So that's your Aeon. Oh, sorry. You use the X39 and the X49, the Aeon, glutathione, and carnosine. And this is for me to try and bring my tinnitus down even more. Tinnitus is a tricky one. The medical industry don't really have any answers on it. There's nothing really that can help. They often say that stress, all the electrical computer equipment around us can elevate that. So it's an ongoing thing. And for me, it's always just looking at the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. So a lady that we met, or was actually part of the panel and on stage in London, explained a protocol where you basically patch those 5 patches in a halo around your head, right? So we're going to give that 3 months, maybe 6 months, and see if my tinnitus come down even more. We often get asked, will you ever stop patching? And it's a hard no. And it comes with a lot of heart and soul. And one of the things that we share as well is we might go a day, like a Sunday is often a day that's sort of out of our routine and we're more relaxed. So we might just spontaneously forget to patch. And those are basically our rest day. But knowing what I know, and, as the time ticks on, and you are on the patches for longer and you are with the people and you see what you see, your believability lifts on all levels, right? And your conviction of what you know you have builds on that. So that's just a bit of overview of my patching journey with the patches, what it's done for me. I hope that helps a lot of people, gives you insight, and just know, it's 2 years and I feel 10 years younger. So the ratio is there as well. So now we're going to touch on one of my favorite parts of what I'm currently doing and what I've experienced with LifeWave. And you've often also heard me and Chris say that LifeWave has got 2 products. One is the product, our range of patches, right? And the other product is the business side of what LifeWave offers. So just to give a bit of background, I come from the retail industry. I had a business in ladies' fashion for over 20 years. I had everything from brick and mortar stores to pop-up stores, online platform, shopping events, shopping extravaganzas, markets, everything. And a lot of in the beginning, it was small and it grew, and I built it basically from 1,000 Rand, selling clothing from my car boot and door to door, but it grew. and was a very successful business. I loved what I did. I created a niche in the market when it came to fashion and ladies' clothing. I changed many, many women's lives through wardrobe and color. And it was really my heart and joy. It was like my baby child, my brainchild. I loved every minute of it. And I learned a lot. But there's always the ups and downs in any business. And over a 20-year period, I had lots of those. And there's always the growth, the expansion, the rentals, the overheads, the stock delays, the change of season, and many, many other challenges. We were able to survive COVID and keep going. But the industry, the world was never the same. And I saw the writing on the wall. And I started the process of just dealing with that, working through it, seeing what will I do to let go of my dreams and my wishes and my brainchild and my passion, right? And really was asking and looking for something else that could also come my way. And I just sort of looked at the writing on the wall, and I had to be very realistic and honest with myself. And I realized my business would not be able to survive. I could push through, I could make it happen, but it could really not survive a healthy 5 to 10 years. So I decided to then close the business. And that was a process over a couple of years just to wind down and pull back. And it was sort of in the December, January of 2023, where I was really like in the busy time of my year and not doing well health-wise, where Chris and I sat down and he said, right, I need to show you the compensation plan. We know this product works. You've now sort of had your own results and you're feeling a little bit stronger. Let's look at this. And he showed me the compensation plan. And guys, I have no background in network marketing. I've never known much about it. I've never been involved in it. So it was completely new. But I looked at the compensation plan, and very quickly, coming from an entrepreneurial business background, I understood how it worked. I saw what it was giving humanity, and it made sense. And I looked at it and I remember clearly how I said, this is it. This is what I've been waiting for. We all have that moment, right? This is it. So, and for everybody, it's different. So this is what I've been waiting for. This is the way the world should work. This stands in my essence. Now, just to explain that for a minute, I loved my business. I was passionate. I enjoy fashion, but it's a cutthroat, backstabbing, copycat industry. I was able to create a niche in the market and really offer my clients something unique, but it wasn't really aligned with who I am and what I want to do in this world. So I looked at it and I said, this is what I want. This is how the world should work. This is what we should do. I don't know how. I didn't know what to do. This was all new for me, but I knew this was what I was asking for. A new door was opening, a new business was on my doorstep. This is what humanity needs. This stands in integrity, what I often refer to as just pure white light, right? So whatever resonates with you, it makes sense. It's a company that look after their people. We can build community, and through helping people with their health, we then also create wealth. And I heard a very powerful phrase or quote a couple of days ago, and it basically said, if you are not wealthy, it means that you are not well. You are not healthy if you are not wealthy. So that really hit a nerve for me, because often we twist it around and we think it's the other way around. And we've been programmed on how, money is evil and money grows on trees, and, people that have money are not good people, and that whole story. So it's really important for us to look at the two, and they are tied together. You've heard Chris many times point out that it's spelled the same. It's just the H and the W, right? So there must be some connection on some level. So I looked at the compensation plan and I did a deep dive, and I absorbed everything that was around me, from video clips to different speakers, motivational speakers, whatever I could find my hands on. in the network marketing industry, and I just really was like a sponge. And for 2 months, that's all I did. I learned a little bit about the product, and I listened to Dr. Stacy, but I wanted to dive deep into what is this thing called network marketing? How do I do it? Do I have the skill set? I come from sales. Now I have to share something. I have to build relationships on a different level. It's not the same. What do I need? What is my skill set? What is the requirements? How do I learn? How do I grow? How do I evolve to really embrace this? Because I could see this is something that I can do for the rest of my life, right? And Chris and I are doing this together. So that's another, like, something that we're so grateful for, and we see it as a complete blessing. So he has, and people would say to me, "Oh, but don't worry, you have Chris next to you," And I used to say, "But hang on a minute. Yes, that's wonderful. He's a mentor and I can learn a lot. I have to apply it. I have to bring something to the table." And I want it to be equal. We're quite competitive in a lot of ways. So it's beautiful. So I did a deep dive and I learned everything that I could learn. And what I discovered through all of that was also that, we are sitting with a product, meaning the business and network marketing. And it's all got to do with our social responsibility. And once we know what we know with regards to the patches and the product that we have and the compensation plan, it's our obligation to share this with the world. We actually can't hold it back and hold it to ourselves. So in that comes sacred economics and servant leadership. And that is powerful. And I know a lot of you will resonate with that and take it to heart. And this is the foundation that network marketing, and specifically the compensation plan with LifeWave, is built on. So from there, let me just say, sorry. I think it just evolved and we grew the business and we have had so much fun and I've learned so much. And it's really been such a joyous journey. And what I really want to share with all of you tonight, and from my heart, and to all of you as our team and part of this beautiful community, that we are here to pave the way. Our product is the future. And it's going to be big. It's going to be huge. It's going to change humanity. And once that documentary hits the airwaves, and then it's going to work in our favor, and we're all going to be blessed beyond our wildest dreams, it's going to become a household name, and the world is going to know about it. And the energy is changing, and the energy is shifting. And we have to see this as a spiritual business, and we have to grow, and we have to learn, and we have to explore and push ourselves a little bit more every day. Every day, just a little step. Every day, just a bit more self-development, peeling away those onion layers, as hard and as difficult as it is, and just getting through those challenges to the other end where the magic happens. And we see it in our own life. We see it in the lives of many of the leaders on here, those that are reaching the higher ranks. And we see it in our upline in the US and in the rest of the world. Once you've done the work, once you've gone the extra mile, once you've peeled away all those challenges and your obstacles and your fears and the things that are holding you back, that's when the magic happens. That's when things just fall in place and it just appears in front of you. And you sort of wonder, like, what? Like, how did that happen? It's because you went through what was needed. And for many of you and for us, you've been here on the planet for 30, 40, 50, longer years. You've already done so much work. Now it's just the last little step in the right direction. It's just the last little layer or two that you need to shift, move, clear out so that that beauty can rise and you can fully step into your power, the reason why you're here, your calling, the opportunity in front of it, and step up and just help and support so many people that is waiting for this. The world is ready, but it's still early days. So we have time to prepare ourselves, get ourselves ready, educate ourselves, grow and evolve, and just become the true essence and the person that you were put on this place, on this earth, to do the task in front of you. I'm going to end with something that I read, like, I think this morning. And I want you to also just take this to heart, because we know we've got no competition in the product, and nothing can get close to it. But I know sometimes we feel there's different teams and there's different lineages, and we're all under LifeWave, but are we in competition with each other? And where does this puts us, right? But like I say, the world is changing. So I'm just going to read this out as it is. Business has long been built on the idea of competition, but that paradigm is rapidly collapsing. You are a channel, a unique spark of consciousness. When you fall steps into when that falls, stepping into your power, your purpose, and in the lane of service to humanity, competition ceases to exist. No one can replace your essence, your gift, or the business you are meant to build. True authenticity makes competition irrelevant. So I hope my little share tonight has helped you, has inspired you, has given you perspective, and just see the bigger picture. So wherever you are in your journey, wherever you are unpatching, just know that it will happen. It will happen when things are ready, when you have gone through that dark patch, when you've gone through the detox, when you've gone through the challenges, and just keep going, just one step in front of the other, and just never give up. And I think that's all I'm going to end with. And we both, Chris and I, feel blessed to be part of this team, to be part of a community, to have so many people that has the same vision, the same dream as us. And we're going to take this far. We're currently on the roadshow, and we just see like so many people excited, so many people that is doing this for the first time. And we often look back and say, look how far we've come. And last year, this time, we were in lots of different places with small groups of people bringing this beautiful product to the world and to South Africa. And it just warms our heart to know that we're pretty much going to have the same amount of people in Cape Town on Saturday that we had at our very first convention. So thank you for all of you, for everything you do, for everything that you do every day. We would not be here without you guys. And you'll be bringing all of you with us. So we've said this before, if you want this, with everything in your soul, like we wanted it, come run with us. Put your hand up, and we want all of you to succeed and be where we are, where the magic happens. So thank you, everybody. Have a good night. Take care. And we'll just end.